All right. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about the dollar bills, yo. Let's talk about how you can also be holding about $2 million, just like this, Actually, 4 million to be precise. No, let's talk about real money. So, writing code is fun. It's fun to see your ideas come to life. But you know what's even more fun? Making some money while doing it. Right now, in this day and age, programming is probably the most in-demand skill. And there's several ways to make money as a programmer, but I'm going to talk about some of the ways that I personally feel are good ways to put your programming or coding knowledge to use. So let's dive right in. The first way to make money as a programmer is freelancing. Just in case you don't know what freelancing is, it's basically selling your services or your work to someone who's looking for your services. And then they essentially pay you to get some work done for them. So as a coder, there are several different platforms that you can sell your services on. And the top two platforms that I know of is Fiverr and Upwork. So what you can do is essentially go on these platforms, write about some of the things that you're capable of doing, and even provide some examples of past projects that you've done. And someone who's looking for a developer or coder will find you and pay you to do some work for them. So in my honest opinion, freelancing is not for everyone. And to be honest with you, there is a lot of competition. And because there's a lot of competition, some people tend to advertise your services for a very low price. So if you live in an area where there's a high cost of living, like New York or Toronto, or some other city where it costs you a lot just to live, you might feel a little discouraged when you're competing with someone from, let's say, India or Ukraine, who is willing to sell their services for much less. But just because there's competition doesn't mean that you can't make a lot of money with it. So the most important thing with these freelancing sites is your reputation. So the more credibility that you have, or the more your reputation is, the higher you can charge for your services. So it's very possible to make thousands of dollars a month if you're producing quality work. So if you decide to do some freelancing, my advice to you would be to start with a low price. And then as you get more clients and you get more experience and you get more credibility, you can start raising your prices. As a beginner, you can't expect a client to pay a high price for your services if you don't even have any reviews or past experiences to show your clients. And the good thing with freelancing is you work basically on your own schedule and the sky's the limit. You can make as much money as you want. So another way to make money as a developer or coder is basically to sell your own course. You can basically learn anything and then teach it in your own very personal style, package it into a course and sell it online. So you can sell your services on your personal blog, or you can sell it on a platform like Udemy. And keep in mind that you don't necessarily need to be an expert on the topic that you're teaching, okay? As long as you know more than someone else, or you're able to teach someone else what you've learned so far, you can make money while doing it. So selling online courses is a good way to make a lot of money, but the only downside is it will probably take you quite a bit of time to put a course together. But if you really enjoy the topic that you're teaching, it won't even feel like work. And once you're able to put the course together, since it's a digital course, you can sell as many copies as you want of that course. And this can become a passive income source for you. Okay, so while you're sleeping, someone somewhere in some other country could be buying your course. So this is a very good way to make some passive income. So another way to make money as a coder is content creation. Being a influencer or content creator on YouTube or TikTok is what is trending right now. And as a coder, you can basically just do some vlogs of some personal projects that you're working on, or you can give people some tips and tricks about programming, or you can take on some entertaining coding challenges. And one common misconception is that as a content creator, you have to constantly be thinking of ideas. One way to get around that, you can ask your subscribers to give you some challenges, and then you would just do a vlog of you completing those challenges. And you're probably wondering, so how exactly would you make money as a YouTuber or any type of content creator? And there are two main ways of making money. Okay? First one is ad revenue. So when people watch your videos, you can place ads in those videos. And whenever someone views an ad, you get paid. And the second way to make money is from sponsorship deals. So the more popular you get as a content creator, the more people are going to be reaching out to you, trying to do some type of collaboration. They might simply ask you to talk about your products for 30 seconds or so, and then they'll pay you quite a lot of money just to talk about them for a couple of minutes. And another good benefit of being a content creator that a lot of people don't talk about is that you essentially become like a brand and people reach out to you. And a lot of opportunities open up when you or your brand gets exposure, because you can reach a lot more people who might even want to hire you for some services or do some collaborations with you. In the end, the amount of money that you can make as a content creator really depends on your popularity or the amount of value you're providing to others. So now let's talk about probably the most common way to make money as a coder or programmer, and that is getting hired by a company. So there's a lot of demand for people who know how to code. In fact, it's probably one of the highest paid professions out there. And depending on where you live or which company you work for, you can potentially be making six figures. So one thing to keep in mind is that to get hired as a programmer, you would need some level of experience. And I know you're probably thinking, so how exactly do I get a job if I need a job to get that job? When I say you need experience, I'm not necessarily talking about job experience. Most companies just care about what you're capable of doing. So projects that you've completed in the past could also count as experience. So if you've never had a programming job before, try to work on as many personal projects as possible, and even try to attend some programming events like hackathons. And in your interview, you can talk about some of these projects that you've worked on. So a good thing about being employed with a company is that if you work with a company, you have a steady income. So if you're looking for some type of security and you want the peace of mind of knowing that every month or so you're going to get paid a certain amount of money, then probably working for a company is best for you. And if you have an entrepreneurial mindset, I'll still suggest that you start off by working with a company, because you will get exposed to a lot of different industry technologies, and you will also at the same time learn how businesses are run. So one thing I must mention is that there's only so much money that you can make working with a company. If you really want to make a lot more money, you can try upgrading your skills, making sure that you cannot easily be replaced, and also change jobs often. So every 3 to 4 years, you will start searching for a new job. Because the reality is, if you stay with the same job, your pay increase won't go up as much. But once you switch to a different job, you can basically negotiate how much you would like to be paid. So keep this in mind if you decide to work with a company. So another way to make a lot of money as a developer is to build some type of product or service. Okay, so this typically would be either some type of website or some type of app that solves a need. So you would use your knowledge of what you've learned to create something interesting that is valuable to someone. And the more valuable your product is, the faster your business will grow. And to be honest, this is probably the best way to make money as a programmer, which is to start your own business. And one piece of advice I would give you is if you're advertising your product, don't focus too much on the features that your product offers, but focus on the problems that it solves. Because a lot of times what I see is people come up with an idea that they believe is brilliant, and they'll start to focus too much on the actual features. And then once they hit the market, they realize that those features were probably only important to them and not to their customers. So if you start a business, I'll suggest that you stay in constant communication with your customers to identify their needs or problems that you can solve for them. And then you create your features based on the feedback that your customers give you. I can personally go on and on and on about so many different opportunities that are available to you as a coder, but hopefully the opportunities that I've talked about so far would inspire you and make you excited to upgrade your skills so that you too can make money as a coder.